What's going on, everybody? East Coast Geo over here tonight for another training for my squad, my team, tradeblazersFx. Shouts to Ben, shouts to Early, shouts Kiara, shouts Melanie, shouts Mia, shouts Priscilla, and big shout outs to Jami for being on this call tonight. We're going to cover a couple different topics. We're going to cover calculating pips, risk management, bad habits, divergence, building a business online, hosting an event, and increasing retention over the next hour or so. So this is going to be a big training. This one's going to be something special. So to get right into it, right? You guys know that at any point, you guys can write in the chat any questions you have, any concerns, you don't understand something, you want me to explain it a different way. At any time, you can unmute your microphone and ask any questions, tell me to repeat something, whatever the case is. If you unmute your microphone and you don't talk, I'm gonna mute you. I'll just spot that out. And yeah, so let's all learn here tonight. So quick little training on calculating pips. First I'm gonna go the easy way, right? Which is the conventional way on a chart. Just go into an area where it doesn't show it, right? The little ruler right here on TradingView is gonna help you calculate how many pips something is, right? Right here, you see the number 357. That means it's 357 pips, 357.8, right? So that's how you calculate pips within the chart. Very easy. As we all know, the higher the time frame, the larger the pip amount. So right now we're on the 4-hour time frame. If we were to go down, let's say to the 15-minute, these candlesticks are going to be a lot shorter. See 25 pips right here, 42 pips right here, as opposed to, whatever it was that we just saw, 150 something. So you can use that little ruler. Yeah, I'm recording this. Me, I got you. You can use that little ruler to calculate the amount of pips. Remember, pips are important because in the foreign exchange market with cryptocurrencies, with commodities, we can trade, or we can decide how much we want to make on a trade per pip or per movement. So I like looking at higher time frames because you're looking at overall moves. You're looking at overall market structure. So in this case, you can calculate how many pips you're looking for and how many pips the move you think is going to make versus how many pips you need to catch in order to remain within your trading plan, right? So when it comes to just calculating pips, when you're looking at price, right? Because it's a little different. For example, let's say if somebody were to say get into a trade, right? And this is not, I'm gonna put this on the top. This is not a trade signal because I didn't do any analysis, right? But let's say somebody says buy GBP JPY at 140.45, right? It's right around entry. And sometimes you may see it as this 140.45 and then 0, like calculating the pipette. But the pipette is just like a percentage to the pip. And we don't really focus on the pipette. We look for whole pips. So sometimes you'll see 3 numbers, but you only want to focus on the first 2. Let me see. We got a question. Pipette. Yeah, pipette is a percentage. So 1 pipette is 1/10. You need 10 pipettes in order to get a pip. So it'll be 450, then 451, 452, 453. You see how it's moving on the price right here from 3 to 4. But what we focus on is whole numbers. So pipettes are used to calculate those whole numbers. It's like the difference of a dollar versus a penny. Yeah. If you like compare it to currency, exactly. It's like the difference between a dollar versus a penny. So pipettes, you don't really focus on it. So it's used to calculate whole numbers, whole pips. So whenever you're looking at currency pairs, right? And most importantly, JPY currency pairs, you want to focus on this second number. You're going to notice that there's two numbers, right? So whatever this goes up or down is going to be a pip. So this right here is similar to like money, right? Let's say, for example, we have $140.45. And let's say our take profit is at 141.50, for example, right? What's the difference between 141.50 and 140.45? That difference is $1.05. So therefore, then that just disappeared. $1.05, right? So that's 105 pips. Whenever you have a JPY pair, 1 penny per se is equal to 1 pip. So every time a JPY pair, whether it's UJ, USD JPY, whether it's GBP JPY, Euro JPY, whatever the case is, every time it goes up 1 penny, that's considered 1 pip. So that's a little secret on how you guys can calculate JPY pairs a little bit better. When it comes to regular currency pair, right? Regular currency pairs have more numbers. Regular currency pairs have 5 numbers, including the pipette. So USD CAD 1.3153. It's about to be 4. Oh no, 53. Call it 530, right? This last 0 is the pipette. Usually you're gonna see it as like a smaller number. Somebody's microphone's muted. Let me mute you real quick. Appreciate you. Right? You're sometimes, most of the time you're gonna see it like as a little number, or it's gonna be like raised. So it's like to third power or whatever, to the 0 power right now. So you'll see it a little bit smaller than the regular numbers. In this case, the 4th number, the 3, right? That's your pip. We all know that, right? So in order to calculate this a little faster, what I do is I focus on these 3 numbers. So where I have 153. So let's say we were buying UCAD, right? Buy UCAD at 1.3153, and the price rose to 1.3253, right? Let's call it, right? So you're going to take the 3 numbers, which is 253, and then you're going to see what the difference is. What did I just do? You're going to see what the difference is. 4, 5, 3. So the difference in this example is 100, right? So this is 100 pips. That makes sense to everybody? We focus on the 3 numbers, boom. And then you just get the difference, and that's how many pips it is. Then, as you guys all know, or if you don't, if you watch the academy, depending on whatever lot size you have, whatever lot size you're trading, then you're going to calculate how much money you're going to risk per pip or per movement. And if you catch 100 pips, that's how you calculate how much money you're winning. So pips are very important to figuring out. It's also relative for your stop loss, because you got to calculate how much money you're risking in the markets. And as you guys know, risk management is something that's very important, something that's very huge, something that you guys should be abiding and following every single day. So do you guys have any questions on pips, on calculating pips, on figuring out how much, you know, is a pip, or anything calculated with pips? All right, perfect. So then we'll move on to the next part of today's training. You do, Kiara, lit. What's up? You're lost. Perfect. Okay.
No,
Can you
hold on.
unmute your microphone?
Yeah, I want to know, right? So
Yeah.
you know how many pips you have all together, right? But my question is, how do you know how many pips to put in the stop loss and how many to put in the take profit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So let me erase this, right? So yes, was you on yesterday's training?
Yeah. The
So
40 and the 50, that's what I was thinking about.
the 4 and the 50, right? So simple strategy. This isn't my computer. Hold on. So I gotta um, that's a 50 EMA, right? And then we're gonna put the 4. Boom. So on the 4 and the 50 EMA cross, right? You're putting a 20 pip stop loss on any trade on any time frame. So whenever you see a cross, your stop loss got to be 20 pips on each cross. On each cross. So you're going to calculate your pips based on your strategy, based on what it is that you're calculating, right? Whether it's, let's say you're looking for a fib retracement, right? From here to here, you see perfect 61.8 bounce off this little pullback right here, off the major move to the bottom. It hits the 61.8, and that's when it retraces to the upside. You're gonna have a set stop loss, maybe to the next level, which is 30 pips. Maybe you're putting a little bit more than 30 pips. Maybe you want to have a tighter stop loss. So what you do is you drill down to the smaller time frames, right? And you try to get a better entry. Let me see where we at. Right here. You try to get a better entry, like wherever around here, maybe off like these railroad tracks is bullish engulfing. You got a little double bottom right here, little W pattern. I don't know if you guys see that, how this is a resistance zone right in this area. I mean, a support level. So price is rejecting. You could have caught it off that bounce. That's also right around the 61.8, right under it. So, I mean, you could have put a stop loss right under that. You're gonna find your stop loss based on your analysis, based on what it is that you find, right? You don't want to put a huge stop loss unless if you're holding a position, like if you're holding a trade for a long time. But if you're going into a trade quick, you always want to look at your risk to reward ratio, right? So whatever your risk to reward is, because like I said yesterday during the risk management trading, right? If you have proper risk to reward, you can lose more trades than what you're you can lose more trades than you win, but you'll still be profitable. Because on your wins, you're winning so much more, right? Let's say we were taking it to this top right here, to this level right here. We see a lot of rejection right around this level, right? Let me see. Right? We see rejection here, touch here. We see another touch here. We see a touch here. This is a head and shoulders pattern. So rejection on this level. This is market manipulation. Prices coming back, retesting this area. We're seeing a lot of rejection on this zone, right? Even before it happened, right here, even before this. So we could have had our take profit, let's say in this zone, calling a bounce off the 61.8, right? So with our take profits there, right, we're looking at 200 pips on your take profit. So there at that point, even if you're risking 50 pips, let's say, which is a lot, it's still a good trade. I don't know exactly what to look for. Does that answer your question? Yes, lit. Mia, you get it? If you're risking the minimum per dollar amount, stop loss should be 30 or 50 pips. Exactly. Yep. Good risk management. Early's on it. Early knows what's up. All right, boom. Boom, boom. Make sure you guys are checking out the basics, like the academy on the IM Center. If you watch the videos in the Forex Academy, it breaks all of this down, like all of like the pips and all of that. So make sure you watch the basics, and then it'll start making a lot more sense to you. The, the basics over and over. Yeah, keep watch. Yeah, watch the basics. Watch the basics, and it'll make sense. And if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll go over it. On a future trading. Got you. So some risk management bad habits, right? Risk management bad habits. Um. So in order to be efficient traders, right? In order to be successful traders, in order to be the seven-figure, traders that we want to be, we have to make sure that we're disciplined. That means that we're disciplined in how we trade, we're disciplined in how we live, we're disciplined with our mindset, we're disciplined, with how we go about doing everything. Remember, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So you want to be pretty much on point, right? Some of us make some bad decisions when it comes to risk management, right? And like we mentioned yesterday in the training, risk management is something very important. These mistakes vary, it's a number of different things, and we're gonna go over a few. To start off, right? Something that's called stacking. When you're stacking trades, right? When you go into a trade and it goes into more drawdown, and you enter the trade again. You enter the trade again. You enter the trade again. And with the mentality of this move, this is gonna double up the win, right? Or I'm gonna be able to gain the pips that I lost plus more, right? So I'm gonna get pips. Or this is gonna reverse right now. Watch, without much basis. And from experience in trading, sometimes you get into the trade early, right? Sometimes you do, but it's best to look for the next setup instead of putting in orders, unless if you're experienced, right? As a beginner trader, you definitely don't want to do this, because you're going to increase your risk. And if the trade goes in the wrong direction, meaning it hits your stop loss, if you even have a stop loss, the loss is going to be times 2 or times 3 or times 4. So you can turn a loss into a big loss, into a loss technically you can't afford, or it's outside of your risk management rules. When it comes to losing streaks, right? I spoke about losing streaks yesterday, and revenge trading. You never want to revenge trade. You always want to stay disciplined. If you're not in the proper headspace, you don't want to be trading looking for setups. You don't want to look at the charts over and over and over, because then you drive yourself chart crazy. A big one right here, a lot of traders make, is not setting a stop loss. Not setting a stop loss. You should always have a stop loss, because your stop loss is there to protect your money. It's there to set your risk, right? If you set a stop loss always, that makes sense. Let's say you put it below the previous low, or you set it at a set amount that you already have based on your strategy, or to the next level, or 15 pips below the next level or above the next level. You always have to have a stop loss. That's going to help you from losing a lot of money. Hedging trades, right? Let's say you get into a trade. Let's say you get into a buy on USD CAD, and it starts going down. And when it starts going down, you panic. And at the same time, you get into a sell. So now you're both in a buy and in a sell. Your buy is down and price just starts consolidating. Or it puts you in profit on one of the trades, negative on the other one. So you close out the positive or the negative, and then vice versa. So you never win any money. So if you're in a trade going one direction, unless you're experienced and you know what you're doing, right? You shouldn't be in a buy and in a sell at the same time. The only exception, right? You guys want to learn is if you're in a consolidating market and prices just going up and down, and you find a big enough zone where with a good amount of pips, let's say like this, 280 pips, where you can catch a buy and a sell. But at that point, you're closing your buy. You feel me? So it has to be, under certain circumstances where you can put in both, but only experienced traders want to do that. You don't want to be in a buy and in a sell, especially getting into, the opposite trade because you're down at the time. You got to give your trade room to breathe, right? Some of us, we make mistakes a lot of times by setting our stop losses too tight, right? Putting our stop losses and we get wicked out. Similar to like earlier, it was a lot of pips. It wasn't too tight. It was a good stop loss, but gold wicked down, hit our stop, and then reversed and went up. And right now it's up like, I don't know, like 50 pips, 60 pips. So something like that, right? We shouldn't get into a sell just because it's going down. Because look at this example. It started going up right after. So if we would have gotten in the sell, then we would have lost money 2 times. So risk management is just as important as finding your trade setup. One poor risk management move can blow your account. Like you'll lose all your money in one move. You might be sleeping, forget to set a stop loss, wake up down. Go into trade opposite ways and lose both ways and mess up your account. You always want to let the trade breathe because sometimes there's stop hunts. Sometimes there's a little market manipulation that takes price. Let's say in this example, it'll take price just a little bit over, right? Just maybe not this one, on this one, just a little bit over to make you think that price broke out, but it didn't. So, this example, there's a lot of pips, but maybe not even. This is maybe like 30 pips. Yeah, it's 33 pips, right? So sometimes you'll get that market manipulation. So you got to watch out for that. So you got to give your trade some breathing room. And always ask yourself, right? Does the trade make sense? And if the trade makes sense, just know that the stop loss is there for a reason. Stop loss is always there for a reason. So those are some common mistakes that some people make when it comes to risk management, some bad habits that if you ask somebody who trades, they'll tell you at one point they made one of these mistakes. But for you guys, it's all about learning from the mistakes of others so you guys don't lose a lot of money in the markets. That's not the whole point of this. The whole point of this is to learn and to multiply your money. And if you stay within your risk management, if you stay within your proper trading, you should not blow an account. Or it should take you a long time and a lot of bad trades and a lot of stop losses in order for you to blow your account, right? So those are risk management bad habits. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions in the chat? Ooh, no questions in the chat. Is lit. It's lit. I appreciate you guys being on here today. 11:33 with 30 minutes in. Early, Jamie, Priscilla, Melanie, Marilena, Kiara's, Joe Mar G, Early, Taurus, Ben, all out here today. We working, we grinding. I hope you guys are learning something. I hope this is sticking with you guys, because again, this is so you guys learn, don't lose a lot of money, and multiply your money in the markets. Next thing I wanted to talk about, I want to talk about divergence within the RSI. Just so you guys know, I love looking for divergence. Like, divergence is one of my favorite things ever, like ever. So I want you guys to give me some currency pairs. Give me some currency pairs. What currency pairs you like?
GCAD.
You said UCAD?
GCAD.
GCAD. Okay, who's that? Who's that?
That's me, bro.
Early. GBP CAD. Early's the man. GBP CAD. Let's see what else people said. People said UJ, UCAD, NJ, AUD, USD. Right? So let me drop the divergence sheet in the chat right now. For you guys that haven't saved this, anything I drop in the Telegram chat, you guys can save. You guys can either screenshot or save it straight from your phone, straight to your phone. The divergence types is something that's amazing. Divergence is one of the confirmations that Christopher Terry used in order to build, his massive net worth in the market. So if you train your eyes to find divergence, it'll only benefit your trading. So GBP CAD. For divergence, I use the RSI, which is the relative strength index. Quick lesson on the RSI, right? The relative strength index is basically, I only see 2 on here. That's crazy. Is basically, so the RSI, my fault. The RSI is basically measuring the power. Oh, look, there was an RSI already. The power of the bulls versus the bears, right? The power of the buyers versus the sellers. Now, you can select a different period length, similar to the moving average. When you could do a 4 or a 5 or a 6, you can do a 5, whatever, RSI. Preferably for myself, I use a 5 period RSI. You can add an RSI on your MetaTrader 4 on your phone. You can add the RSI on your phone by pressing the F on the top of the chart, and then right here on TradingView by pressing indicators and strategies and searching for RSI or relative strength index. So what we're looking for, I see why you called this, why you said GCAD. I like that. So why we look at this is for an added confirmation in order to get into the markets, right? In order to give you a sense of direction. Pretty much, if, let's say, for example, price is going up, right? That should mean that there's more people buying in the markets. But then if the RSI is showing price going down, then that tells you there's a discrepancy within the markets, right? That gives you an indication that something's about to happen. And based on history, when this happened, that means that the chart is going in a certain direction. Price is going a certain type of way. So that's giving you an indication to get into the charts, into the price, into a trade, right? So if you guys notice, right, shouts to Early for pointing out GBP CAD, because this is showing divergence right now. The first type of divergence on that sheet is called the regular divergence, a bearish divergence, right? And the reason why it's bearish is because we're expecting price to go down. So pretty much how you know is, you guys can tell by that red little arrow that's right there, right next to price. And then also 6-2 nationals. Wow. Also, whenever the divergence is drawn on the top, similar to right here. Oh, wow. And right here. Damn, the Nationals are about to win the World Series, bro. No way. In the ninth inning, wow. So as you guys can see, right, price is going up, right? And then your indicator is going down. Damn, I don't really like this because it's fighting it right here. And then you're now seeing divergence from there. Right, so whenever you see price, I don't really like this one. Just because price is breaking right here. It's breaking right here. Boom, boom, boom. And it kind of made a move down here. There was divergence right here. Boom. Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys this one. Notice how if we line this up, right? If we put a vertical line, right, from this point and this point, right? Notice how price goes up, but the indicator goes down, right? So this is signifying a regular type of divergence. So it's the first picture on that chart where it shows price going up and the indicator going down. You guys see that? If you guys see that, drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1 if you guys see price going up, creating a higher high, and then the RSI creating a lower low. Lit. So that's divergence within the RSI, right? So I like looking for divergence on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour, and on the daily, right? So let's take a look and let's see if we can find divergence. Big divergence. So as we see right here, so right here, right? If we were to line that up, right? Right here we have divergence. We have bullish divergence, right? So this would be a buy right here. This is a buy. The last one was a sell. If you guys notice on the last one, right? Or we did the last one on the smaller time frame. It was on the 1 hour, but we drew the line on the top of price. Now on this one, on the big one, we're drawing the line on the bottom of price. So whenever you draw it on the bottom, it's bullish. You're looking for a buy. It's giving you a confirmation to buy it. And whenever you draw it on the top, it's bearish. It's giving you an indication for a sell, right? So right here you're getting indication for a buy. And the reason why I like this over the first one, right, is this one is pretty much consistent. It's bouncing off of the trend line or the divergence line on the RSI. It's not going through it, and neither is price. This is clean. Price always remains above the line. It doesn't create another low, you know, until this point. This is the next low, right? And you see a lot of fight down here. This creates a lot of rejection in this area, right? You see a long wick. This wick gets filled right here. Rejection. So you're seeing a lot of rejection in this zone. right? If I were to rewind this and take it back, so you guys can see, you see a lot of rejection in this zone. Price doesn't like being in this zone, right? So if price isn't breaking through, we're seeing bullish divergence. Now we got two confirmations that price is going to continue to rise to the upside, right? So this is how we get into this trade. Price gave us 1, 2, well, right here, 2, 3, 4, 5 opportunities to get into the trade. Now, if I were to take my fib, remember guys, we did a fib training, I think on Sunday, I think it was, right? You guys notice that price comes right around that 38.2 zone. So 38.2 is a major reversal level, right? So 38.2 price with the divergence. You got bullish divergence. You got a big rejection area. Price doesn't like to be in this zone. Now you got 3 confirmations to enter this trade. Now maybe right after this bullish engulfing right here, this bullish engulfing retesting this zone for the 3rd time, right here you say, let me buy this. Right here you got more than enough confirmations to enter this for a buy. And it takes off. It takes off, and let's say you were to get in right here after the extra confirmation, you're looking at 220 pips on the 4-hour time frame in a matter of a day and 12 hours. That's not right. 9 bars time. Yeah, a day and 12 hours. A day and a half. You're up 220 pips. That's a clean setup early. I wish you would have sent that in the chat. I don't know if you've seen this. But there's a few confirmations on here to take this for a buy. This is something that you guys could have took from right here. And once you've seen that price took off, right, you guys could have had a tighter stop loss, right? You could have tightened up your stop loss off rip. Let's say you would have had your stop loss below that zone. You're looking at about a 70 pip stop loss. If our take profits could have been this right here, right? This is what my take profits would have been. 1, because we seen rejections over here. This could have been market manipulation. 2 would be the top of the zone. This right here is a long doji, right? This is market misdirection. This is market manipulation, right? So that's why I drew my fibs to here. And then 3, if I take my fibs, shouts to my man Manny Quinones. I see your guys' questions. I'm going to go in the chat right now. I'm going to reverse my fib, right? And my last take profit would be somewhere up here at the 1.27. Or if you don't flip your fibs, right? Some of you guys don't like flipping your fibs, feel like it's a lot of work. You can add the negative 27% to your fibs, and that also works. This is the negative 20 minus 27%. How do you know how many candlesticks in order to find it? So in order to find divergence, or in order to do your analysis, history repeats itself. The farther back you go, you're still gathering information. Even though something happened in the chart, let's say back here, right? The support and resistance levels, let's say, are still valid. The rejection zones are still valid today. Now, the only question is price around it? Look, price is, that's crazy. I didn't even peep. But you see, look, we have rejection over here. We have a lot of rejection in this area, right? And if we go to today, that's exactly where it wicked off. So everything in the past applies. History repeats itself. If I were to take this line back, you're gonna find again more rejections to the area. Look, this long wick right over here. right? You're going to find more rejections to that area. Some of them are psychological levels. Like psychological levels are a big thing when it comes to this. Keep in mind, we're following the moves of the banks, right? We're following smart money. What are the banks buying? What are the banks selling, right? So banks usually put in orders at whole numbers. That's crazy. They'll rather put in an order at 1.7000 as opposed to 70010 or 70015, 13, 12, a random number like that. They're gonna look for those nice whole numbers in order to put their entries. So psychological levels play a part. This right here would have hit TP1 for me had I gone into this trade right after, this area right here, right after this bullish engulfing. This candlestick's bigger than this one. Off the major rejection of this area, we got a little macro, little small, little W formation on a little double bottom, triple bottom. Out of the 38.2 on the fib after this impulse move with bullish divergence. This is how you trade. This is how you enter the market. You find different things that are telling you go in. Let's see. So you can go back to this low. All right, I'm back. Appreciate you, Benjamin. You had a question. My internet froze, so it erased. What'd you say? Yeah. Didn't you have a question? I thought I saw your name or a statement. I don't know.
Yeah, I did write a question. So like it was just about the divergence. It was actually a while ago because I remember today I actually had an incident with UJ where it was like about divergence because you know how like sometimes you can find the divergence the way that you have it there on the chart, but you were also saying how you find it like at the top of the trend, and that usually represents that it's going bearish. You follow?
Yeah, for
Hello?
sure. Let me show you an example right now.
Yeah, so
Right
my
here.
question is like what happens if you find an example of both? Like yeah, exactly. Like what happens if you find an example of both? Like which divergence should you be following?
So the two divergences are going to give you different entries, let's say, as you're like if you're a more experienced trader, right? So this divergence is going to happen before this one, before the big one, right? So I'm going to see the bearish divergence on this chart before I see the bullish one. So I could be going into sells, right? After the bearish divergence, you see a move of 150 pips. Right? So this could have been a trade that I won already. Boom, I took profit. Later, this divergence shows up. Boom. Now I have this divergence. This is signifying bullish divergence. So this is bullish. I'm going into a buy right at this point. If let's say, and it's wild because it's showing it on this chart right here, right? Maybe that's why early said pick this one. I don't know. Early's, early's that guy. Boom, boom. You mean like something like this, right?
Yes, exactly.
So what I would do is I would follow the bigger move, right? So notice how this divergence is yay big versus this bigger move. So this divergence might give you an indication of like a little pullback or something like that. Like after this divergence, you see maybe like 50 pips. But the overall move is going to be the bigger picture. If we see divergence on, let's say, a higher time frame, let's say like on a daily, on a 4 hour, but then we spot the opposite type of divergence on the 15-minute or on the 1 hour, that could just be a little pullback. You feel me? Like one of these little small moves back, right? One of these, one of the little pullbacks. That answers your question? It's lit. Fire, fire. Anybody else got any divergence questions? You guys want to see more examples? Do you guys want to point out some divergence that you may have found? Talk to me, talk to me. What pairs are showing divergence? Yes, another example. I got you. Kiara, pick a pair. Kiara, pick a pair. AUD USD. AUD USD moves slow. Let me see. AUD USD. AUD USD is the perfect pair for somebody who's a beginner. So let's find divergence. Wow. Okay. Okay. I see you. So look at this. From this point right here, price is going up. But from here, the indicator is going down. So now we have bearish divergence. I wouldn't enter this trade just yet because we have a lot of bullish momentum. But as soon as it starts turning around, this could be possibly going down. Unless, of course, if you see this RSI creep all the way up and either go higher or remain the same, because at that point, there's not going to be any more divergence. So if this goes all the way up, there'll be no longer divergence. And I would be looking for this to go down. But before entering the trade, I would look for the safer entry and wait for some bearish momentum. Wait for it to start pushing down. If we were to look here, we have, it didn't hit the 50%, but it definitely hit this previous level right here. Look how it touched this previous level. You had 3 tops on the bottom. So this was giving you indication, bearish momentum, right in between the 38.2 and the 50. So what we can do is if we take this fib and we flip it, right, fib extension levels, we could be looking for a take profit around the 1.27. The 1.27 is right now. So this could be hitting people's take profits. So we could be looking for a reversal. Again, see how we're looking for more confirmations, more things indicating that price is going in a certain direction. So now I have more confirmation. Now I'm going to go back. Now I want to see if we're around a structure level. It's easy because price is there. So it shows us where price is. So there's structure here. Look at this rejection, right? There's rejections here. Some directions, misdirection, reversals here. So this is a big rejection area. Price doesn't like being over here. So I like this going down, but I would wait again for that bearish momentum. Bearish momentum coming down. This will be somebody's TP. This is creating another high. And yeah. Do you see the example of divergence, Kiara? How many bearish candle will you think is good to go in? What do you mean? How many bearish candles will I think is good to go in? Priscilla, I think I see bullish divergence on GBP NZD. I'll check GBP and CD in a second. I got you. So boom, yeah. Kiara, I like this going up to this zone. At some point, making a reversal. We're gonna wait for this to start turning red. We're on the 4 hour too. So I mean, we can drill down a little bit more. Market's very overbought. We was getting bullish divergence before. We got this double bottom on this zone. So a lot of resistance over here. Price is starting. Look how it's starting. Look how it created a doji here. But right now, price is above that zone. It failed to close above it. Right now is not on it. There was news earlier. So this could have been, this was news right here. This is about to close right above our zone. So we still want to see bearish momentum. See, we're getting bullish push. This just closed above on the 1 hour. So for it to close above that area, it's telling us that there's still a little bit of bullish momentum. There's still a little bit more juice. So we're going to wait for this to start reversing before getting in. That reversal is going to be our last confirmation. If we can get a nice little bearish engulfing or even a evening star coming up right now. I wish this last one would have closed under. So that would have started the evening star. You know, we get another candlestick formation. It'd be lit. It says, somebody said, look at another pair. NJ.
GU.
NJ, is there divergence on NJ? Let's see. There's no divergence on it right now. We don't have any divergence on NJ right now. We don't got no divergence on NJ. What I'll do is I'll find some divergence that happened in the past, just to show you an example. Right over here, our indicators are going up, but our price is going down. And I don't like that one. Damn. Price is going down and our indicator is going up. So this is bullish divergence. This is signifying a move to the upside. So if there are no divergence, are you gonna look for SNR and go about that? Yeah, so I don't just look for divergence. I'm just looking for divergence now since we're talking about divergence today. So like overall this week, I've been showing you like different confirmations, different things that I look for in the market. And as I see some of those things, that's when I make my decision whether if I want to buy or if I want to sell. So yeah, so that's some divergence on NZD JPY. Let's see who else. Bullish divergence GBP NZD. GBP NZD. So weird pair. I muted you guys. At any point, you can unmute your mics, ask any questions, write in the chat, whatever the case is. All right, so we're looking at GBP NZD. Somebody said they think there's some type of divergence on here. Let's see. They said bullish divergence on GBP NZD. I can see it forming, starting to form. Say if we were to call it like something like this, and then over here, we're coming down. I see a little bullish divergence there. To touch on Jami's example from earlier, I also see some bearish divergence here, right? The bullish one is bigger than the bearish divergence. So we're going to find an overall bullish move. As you can see, after the bearish divergence, the bullish divergence hadn't really formed, right? After the bearish divergence, it went down. You could have caught some pips. Right now, if we were to fib this big move right here, my fib's a flipped. We have a 38.2 rejection, right? Let me see. I don't see any structure around that 38.2, right? Except for this big rejection over here. But I like more structure down there. So I would still watch out, you know, for this to go down. But we have two confirmations right now, a bullish divergence and a 38.2 rejection for a move to the upside, right? Now what I want to see is, again, a nice candlestick formation, some bullish momentum starting to form. Because right now, the bears are winning the battle. It's going down, right? So I want to see that price to start reversing. We can look at the smaller time frame, the 1 hour, see what price is doing. Right now, we're getting a lot of rejection. We're getting a lot of long wicks, right? This is price doesn't know, you know, what it wants to do. We got an oversold market, so price could be starting to make that reversal to the upside. But we still want to wait to see, you know, some candlestick formations. Wait to see what price is going to do. But I like this going to the upside. I do see the bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. But I would wait on the entry. And then somebody said GU. GU, this is the last one we'll do for some divergence. Let's see. Analysis sounds like triple fire. Yeah, triple fire is official. Manny, I like Manny Quinones. Manny, somebody who taught me a lot about trading. When I first started, I used to take day trips to New York, and I used to learn from Manny. This was before he was an IML educator. This is before he was, you know, featured on the platform. But I like his triple fire strategy. I don't use a MACD. I use an RSI, and my moving averages are a little bit different than the ones that he uses. But yeah, his strategy is definitely something that I like and something that I take into consideration when doing my analysis. We're getting a lot of rejection on the 23% level on the fib. This isn't one of our major reversal zones, but it still hits, you know, quite often, more than, let's say, a 25% or anything like that. We're going to see this 23%. This usually signifies a quick move. If you get a reversal off the 23.6, it's not going to lag. It's usually going to go up fast. So it was a clean, you know, clean rejection. No structure around that area. Let's see, any divergence. There's bearish divergence on GU right now, but there's a lot of bullish momentum. A lot of bullish momentum. I would wait to see, you know, how these candlesticks close. But there's bearish divergence on it right now. Oh, levels is calling, or the harmonic scanner, matter of fact, is calling a sell on it right now. The harmonic scanner and levels are calling a sell on it right now. I mean, I see some bearish divergence, but I want to see what price is going to do. There's a lot of bullish momentum right now. This is pushing up. Yeah. So boom, GU. Appreciate you, Priscilla. Thanks for your question. Does anybody have any more questions on divergence? Remember, divergence is a big confirmation. Tells you a lot about the markets. gives you an indication on where price is gonna go. So use that for your trading analysis. Let's see who's on this call right now. Who's on this call right now? We got Tizzy, we got Ben, we got Early, we got Doris, Jay, Joe, Mark, Kiara, Melanie, Priscilla, Jami. All y'all on this call right now. Shouts to you guys. Wednesday night, Thursday morning is 12:09. We've been on here for an hour. So far today, we spoke about several different things. An easy way to calculate pips, risk management, bad habits. We looked over some divergence on several different charts, several different time frames. If you guys are getting value from today's call, let me see you drop some nines in the chat right now. Drop some nines in the chat if you're getting some value, if you're learning something, if you're training your eyes to see divergence, if you're never going to make those bad risk management mistakes. Where y'all at? You guys awake? Y'all awake? Y'all here? Is only Early and Priscilla awake right now? Sheesh. I see y'all. I see y'all, Jami. I see you. Tizzy, I see you. Taurus, I see you. Ben, I see you. All right. All right. If you guys have no questions about divergence, right? We're going to go ahead and move on to our next topic of the night. We got about 30 more minutes on this call. But the next part of it is really important. You know, when it comes to building a business online, this is something that's huge, right? What you guys lack in talent can be made up with skill. We all know that. What you lack in talent can also be made up in desire and hustle. No millionaire is better than you. You know, nobody who's a millionaire trader or a millionaire builder, nobody who's a millionaire in general is better than you. They just have the desire and hustle, and they learned the way to make a million before you did. Question is, once you find a way to make a million, are you gonna have the same desire and hustle as that person who's already a millionaire? Remember, what you lack in talent, what you lack in skills, you can make up in numbers. We live in 2019, a time where you're connected to anybody on the planet, right? Somebody on the other side of the world, you can reach them in a matter of seconds through different social media platforms. You're going to find different types of people on different social medias. For example, right? My grandmother has a Facebook. She's always on Facebook. She always likes my posts on Facebook. But my grandmother doesn't have an Instagram, right? My grandmother doesn't have a Snapchat. My little brothers, my little cousins, they use Snapchat. They be going on their streaks and all that other stuff, right? Me, I use Instagram. I like Instagram. So based on what social media platform we're using, right? Tinder for professional people or Bumble for professional people, whatever the case is, right? We can reach different types of people. The question is, do we have the desire and hustle? Don't sleep on LinkedIn, big facts. The desire and hustle to get to that level. Are we going to put in the work to make up in talent with numbers, to make up, you know, what we lack in talent with numbers, right? Some of the people around us don't want to join our business. They don't want to lock arms with us. They don't want to build something special because either A, they think it's a scam. They're not educated on how money works. B, right, they don't see you as that successful person, or maybe, you know, no disrespect to you, but they don't think that they can learn or benefit from being your business partner. Or C, they just don't respect you enough and they don't want to lock arms. Whatever the reason is, right? We're not here to judge anybody or feel any type of way, right? We're going to move on and go on to the next person. But in order to find that next person, that superstar person, we got to put ourselves out there. We got to start talking about what it is that we do, what it is that we're trying to build, what it is that we're in the process of building. And using online resources is going to help you get to different people all around the world. So I'm going to go ahead and put a blank sheet on here just to share some stuff. So boom. So you got to become high tech, high touch. You got to use everything. Use all of the different social media platforms, right? Post, use your stories, use your feed, right? Use your lives. Step one is content. Content is king. Like my man Grant Cardone would say. Shouts to Grant Cardone. If you guys know Grant Cardone, drop a 3 in the chat. If you don't know who Grant Cardone is, look up a video tonight. Grant Cardone, GC. Nobody knows Grant Cardone? Okay, somebody knows him. Jomar knows him. Early knows him. Ben knows him. Bet. He says content is key, right? What you post, people aren't joining your business because people don't know you. They don't know you. Like my man's Kevin Hart would say, you local, right? Only your friends know about you. So in order to attract different people, you gotta put yourself in front of those people, right? So step one is content, right? You want to get in the habit of posting on your story 5 times a day. Different things you can post. We're gonna go into that. You want to put on your feed, right? You want to go with the 4-2-1 system. 4-2-1 system. So the 4-2-1 system, post every time you link with the squad. Big facts. 4-2-1 system. You're going to want to get into the habit of posting 4 times a week. And most importantly, those 4 times, you're going to post something that doesn't have to do with your business. Something that doesn't have to be Forex. Something that's about you, right? Something that talks about who you were before you started this business. Something that talks about what you like to do. Something that talks about your story. Something that makes you relatable to somebody that's viewing your profile for the first time. 2 times, you want to do something that it has to do with your business. 2 times something that has to do with your business. Either you're meeting up with the squad. Whenever you meet up with the squad, take a picture in front of a chart. Make a video, right? Sit down and think of different skits, different things you guys can do, different things we can do. The mission is to put this in front of more people. So we got to get content. Every time you're on a session, put some videos, record a video of you going to the currency exchange place. For example, if you're in the sneaker store buying sneakers, record a video of you buying sneakers and say something motivational real quick. It doesn't even have to be, 1 about Forex. It could be something else. Or 2, it could be with Forex or about your business or whatever the case is. And then 1 post is your post to close, right? This is when you're with a bunch of people. This is when you put your throwback, you're having fun, you're on vacation, or you pop bottles or whatever it is that you like to do. You feel me? But you put that post that shows that you're having fun. And there's nothing wrong with putting a throwback, right? You don't want to fill your page with ads. You don't want to have a whole bunch of flyers on your page. You don't want to just be Forex, unless that's what your page is designed to be, right? You want to be relatable to people. You want to show what it is that you do, what it is that you like, what it is that you're into, right? So on Facebook and on Instagram, you have the ability to go live. So Facebook and IG live. We can go on live, right? We can talk to different people who join our lives. We can start different conversations. We can preach motivation. We can give value on our live stories, and people are going to tune in. A lot of times I see people creating lives and they're standing on the camera, smoking weed, popping bottles, just standing there, not talking about anything, waiting for somebody to talk to them. If you're somebody of value, somebody who's preaching positivity, somebody who's talking about their day, somebody who's talking about their business, somebody who's, you know, giving somebody knowledge, whether it's about what your current job is or, you know, what it is that you're doing or that new sport, whatever the case is, that's going to make you more relatable. That's going to make people want to, you know, talk to you more. Try to get into the habit of getting on one time a week. If you get on Facebook or IG Live one time a week and start talking value, start being a person of more, a prosperous person who's giving value, who's preaching positivity, who's talking about business, who's making people financially literate, who's giving education, who's talking about what they like, something that's coming up, whatever the case is, you're making yourself more relatable. If you need ideas, this is something big right here. If you need an idea, check out this page, answerthepublic.com. We're actually going to check out that page right now. This is huge. This right here is huge. Answerthepublic.com. Answerthepublic.com. So you're going to enter a keyword, right? Whatever you want that keyword to be. Let's say Forex, for example, right? And what this is going to do is it's going to find everything that everybody searches on Google that's asking about the keyword Forex. Don't sleep on TikTok. I've never used TikTok. You got to put me on. So these are the questions that people are asking about Forex. Where does Forex money come from? Where is Forex legal? Where is Forex traded? When does the Forex market open? Forex, who makes money? Who trades Forex? Who created Forex? You can make a quick 1-minute video answering any one of these questions, asking any combination of these questions, right? Let's pick a different topic. One of you guys, give me a topic. Give me something you guys like. Give me something you guys like. What do you guys like? Music. Who do you like? Who's your favorite artist? Who's your favorite music artist? Kendrick. So what are people asking about Kendrick Lamar, right? What is the world saying? So let's start on this side. Will Kendrick Lamar release an album in 2019? You can make a video on this. How excited would you be if Kendrick released a new album in 2019? Damn, what do you think he'll talk about? Damn, he should make a song like this song, or he should talk about this, right? Is Kendrick Lamar married? Damn, I don't even know. When what's Kendrick Lamar's real name? Fun fact. What are people asking? Who is Kendrick Lamar's label? Look up Milk. Milk. Wow, the Nationals won. That's crazy. That's what's up. Shouts to Washington, D.C. Oh, my guy Felipe, he's lit. Shouts my guy Flip.
Hmm?
My guy Flip from he's from Boston, but he moved to Washington, D.C. Shouts to him. He invited me to D.C. one time. I took a drive out there with my cousin. He gave me floor side tickets for like $40. So I was sitting on the floor of the Washington Wizards versus the Brooklyn Nets game, back when Paul Pierce played for the Nets. Does it make you fat? Is it only for baby cows? Does it cause inflammation? Where does milk come from? Which milk is the best? You can make a video on this. If y'all go on my Instagram and you go in the highlights, you'll see I have the almond milk, right? How do you make almond milk? So you guys can definitely make a video on whatever topic and start talking about it. Go on your live and start talking about these things. And you're going to be relatable to somebody. Like, this page is definitely lit. I love this page. It gives you, some perspective on what to talk about and what people are looking for. And it's pretty ill. Milk versus soy milk versus almond milk. Yeah, so consistency, guys. It's all about consistency. It's all about what you're doing every single day. Remember, that's going to take you to the person that you're going to be. Milk from is the best. Yo, Ben, chill. Consistency and what you're doing every single day, right? When you're putting up these posts, make sure you're using captions. And in your captions, try to tailor your captions towards people of all color personalities, right? And we're going to do a training on color personalities, but to touch on it real quick, let's say you're a red type of personality. That means you like doing things for the money, for the experiences, because they can get you what you want. If you're a green personality color, you like analytics. Like, how are we going to do it? Like, you're a numbers person. If you're a blue color personality, you like fun. You're wild, right? You like busy streets, like you like a lot going on. And then if you're a yellow personality type, you're mushy, you're like into feelings, right? So write captions that are tailored towards different personality types so different people can relate. Talk about different experiences, talk about visions, talk about numbers, talk about, fun, talk about feelings, talk about different things. Respond to people's comments. If people write on your page, respond to the comments, start conversations, comment on people's posts, right? If you increase your engagement, you're going to increase your engagement. If you increase your engagement, you're going to increase your engagement, right? So if you like more people's posts, more people are going to like your posts. If you comment on more people's posts, more people are going to comment on your posts. So one challenge for you guys, from today, let's call it until tomorrow's training, is to write down 10 titles, 10 things that you would like to make a video on. Milk versus cream, which is better? Milk versus yogurt, milk versus water. Write 10 videos, 10 ideas of what you want. People are going to fall in love with your passion, the way you talk, your energy, and your belief, right? If people know you, people know how you talk, people can relate to you, they're going to hit you up. They're more inclined to join your business. They're more inclined to start that relationship. And same topic, any topic you want, Kiara. It doesn't even matter. So this is something we call the toilet technique, right? So the toilet technique, let me go back to my whiteboard here. Hope you guys are taking notes, because this is fire, right? So I'm going to erase this. Make sure you guys get the website, answerthepublic.com. I'm going to erase it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gone. Right? So step number 2. We mentioned commenting, right? This is the toilet technique. So every day, you're sitting on the toilet for 5 to 10 minutes, right? Whether in the morning, whether at night, whatever the case is. And for those 5 to 10 minutes, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be following different groups. you're going to be looking at different stories, different pages, different people's lives. You're going to reply to messages. But you're not just going to be mindlessly scrolling through Instagram. You're going to be looking for business partners. You're going to be, let me see, look for new partners. With your stories, you're going to be engaging or building relationships. Right? By following or looking through different pages, you're going to be looking for things in common. Looking for common, right? Same thing with here. And then replying to messages, you're building relationships. So now you're being productive in the time that you're spending on Instagram and on your social medias every day. Remember, start commenting, start liking, create that relationship, build rapport. Again, increase your engagement. By increasing your engagement, and you're going to follow and you're going to build different relationships and build different business partners straight from your social media. A lot of the people on the team I met through social media. I didn't know you guys before. Let's see who I met through social media who's on the call right now. Early, I met you through social media. Priscilla, I met you through social media. And just you guys. So I met you guys through social media just from doing these things, just from reaching out to new people and building relationships. Something called Facebook laddering, right? On Facebook, you have the ability to go on different business pages. You can like different business pages, follow the members of those business pages. So if you find a business that relates to you, maybe a small business that you've used, somewhere that you've gone, one of your friends' things, you can follow the people in that business page and you can try to build those relationships. So if you spend 30 minutes a day, you can go from business to business and you can start following different people. Again, the whole point is to build relationships. You always want to build relationships, right? What you don't want to do is you don't want to spam people. You don't want to try to start convincing people. You want to show that you're living your life. You want to show what it is that you do. And then you're looking for business partners. And most importantly, again, you're looking to build relationships, right? So, boom. This cool page that I wanted to show you guys, right? It's called, matter of fact, I'm going to go on the website. Let me go on the website, show you guys real quick. This is called networkmarketingpro.com/memory. And I hope this doesn't like make me answer. Yeah, it's going to make me answer all the questions. Right, boom. So you can download this ultimate memory jogger. And what this is going to do is going to help you find different people whom you know, right? So members of your family, from the people you already have, your contact list, your email list, social media, who the people that you know, people you play sports with, who are the people who sold you different things, who's your accountant, who's your former coach, who do you know who's a champion, who do you know who's a children in college or has children in college, who do you know, right? Who do you know? And by finding the people that you know, by thinking about those people who you knew in the past, right, who can potentially join your business, again, you're increasing the numbers of people who you're talking to, and you're increasing your chances of building your business. You guys got any questions? Any questions out there? I've been going on for a while. It's 12:33. We've been on this for an hour and a half. Jomar, where you at? Jay Phillips, where you at? Holla, where you at? Early, how you feeling? Taurus, how you feeling? You guys want me to keep going? You're Priscilla, Kiara, I see you. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I was here late, but I got it. Holla, damn, you missed the divergence training. We got the recording, though. It's coming out for you. Kiara is lit. All right. Let's keep talking building. Let's keep talking building, right? Yeah, this is recorded. I'll put the link in the chat right after. So who do you guys know from a different state? I read something in my book yesterday that was kind of crazy, right? And it went something like this. You don't know everybody in your city, right? For those of you that are in Boston, you don't know everybody in Boston. And sometimes we don't start conversations with people who are in our city just because, you know, we have no interest or we're scared or we don't want to or whatever the case is, right? Whenever you travel, let's say, for example, you go to Providence, and Providence might be a little bit too close, but you go to Providence and you find somebody who's from Boston, better yet, who's from around your neighborhood, right? You instantly feel like you got a relationship with them. It's weird, right? Let's say you were to take a trip, you know, for example, we went to Dallas. Let's say when we went to Dallas, we would have met somebody, or we did meet somebody. The dude from from Waffle House, who's out there in Dallas with us? If y'all remember the dude, the chef, the black dude from Waffle House that said he had been to Boston, and damn, who was with us that night? Nobody that was with us that night. The convict. Damn, the convict. Mook. That was it. It was just Mook that night. Wow, but so there was mad people. Jay Phillips was there because Jay Phillips, yo, Jay, Jay sleeping. Jay sleeping. So you meet somebody that's from your city, right? And you feel like you instantly got a connection with them. You feel like you can trust those people. You feel like you can talk to them. You feel like, you know, now you can take their number. So in a sense, you want to start creating that here in your city because there's people all over who are from your city, who are from where you are, who are into the same things that you're into. And it's just a matter of starting that conversation. The second skill you guys want to work on when it comes to social media, skill number 1 is reaching out to people and meeting new people. Skill number 2 is inviting, right? Inviting people to events, inviting people to calls with the goal of educating and creating an understanding of what it is that we have going on. Your calendar is your boss, right? Whatever you have on your calendar, I'm going to show you guys my calendar for the month of October. Show you guys, right? Whatever I got going on every single day. Your calendar is your boss, right? What are you doing, really doing on a day-to-day basis to grow your business? I always say whatever you track grows. We're supposed to be tracking what it is that we do every single day. Whose sessions are we going on? What trades are we going into? If you guys have a trading journal, shouts to you guys. If you don't have a trading journal, you slacking. You're not, going to your full potential. And if you have a trading journal and you're not using it, then you might as well not have one. So whatever you track grows, right? So your calendar is going to show you your future. Your calendar is going to show you your success. The more people you talk to, the better your chances to growing. The more trades you're taking, the more sessions you're going on, the better your chance of learning a strategy, or learning a way that's going to make you money, right? You want to start sending messages to people, starting conversations, right? Shout people out on Instagram. Shout out for a shout out. Start a conversation, but show interest in them. Don't just start a conversation just to start, talking about foreign exchange. You build a relationship. You talk to them here and there. And, after you spoke to them 3 or 4 times, then you bring up, foreign exchange or a business or something like that. Once you find the conversation that's leading to that. But you start a conversation, maybe somebody you know from back in the day, hey, what's going on? How you been? Like, Where you living at now? What's your number? We should link up, right? Link up with them. Go out to eat, you know, have fun. Build a common relationship. Build a friendship. And then introduce your business if you think that they're going to be good in it. 3 things you guys need to have in mind when it comes to talking to people, inviting people. You got to have a willingness to potentially be humiliated, to potentially say something wrong. Remember, none of us are pros, and in order to get better, you have to open yourself up to looking dumb. It's one of the unfortunate things of life. It's hard to get better and look good at the same time, right? And you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations and learn how to deal with it, learn how to handle them. The number 1 personality trait you're looking for is people who are hungry, people who want that money, people who are looking to do more, people who are you know, willing to make the sacrifices. So that's pretty much, you know, building a business online. That's some keys on what you guys can do in order to build relationships, in order to build a liking on social media. To keep it going, do you guys have any questions? Anybody have questions? Drop them in the chat. There's still 11 people here hungry, trying to learn, trying to build a business. I hope you guys are getting value out of today's call. Matter of fact, if you guys are getting value, drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat. If we're professionals, if we're going to build this 7-figure business, if we're going to build our 7-figure trading accounts, let's see some fires. Who's making money with this business? Who's going to be most successful? Whoever's taking notes right now, for sure is going to be most successful, because I'm breaking it down for you guys. I'm giving y'all some real knowledge that, not for nothing, I wish I had, you know, back when I was a P150 or a customer, or 2 and 3, or P600, right? I wish somebody did these trainings every night, and you guys have this. So you guys are going to be successful, but make sure that you guys are taking notes. You guys are taking notes, and you guys are getting ready to practice what I'm telling you guys, right? So next off, hosting an event. Everybody on this call is more than capable of hosting an event. Hosting an event, a presentation, showing people what it is that you're doing, right? Before you even learn the presentation, you can host a presentation. Before you learn the slides, before you learn how to talk in front of people, you can host an event, right? You can either watch a YouTube recording, you can watch a video from one of your mentors. I have a video out there showing the presentation. You can show that. You can have somebody call in via Zoom and show it to a couple people. Make these events personal. Make them yours, right? Don't worry about, you know, if somebody thinks it's not the most professional, right? Or if somebody thinks that you could be doing better, like, you're trying. And as long as you're trying, you're going to succeed. When you're up there presenting, always remember the crowd doesn't know the presentation. So don't be afraid of making mistakes, right? If you practice it, you're going to get better, but you're still going to mess up certain times. That's just giving you room for growth the next time you do the presentation. And as you get better, you're going to get better, right? So you can host events in different places. We can host events in, I'm going to give y'all different places to host events. How do you tell people to come to an event and be sure they're going to make it? Follow up. Follow up, right? Don't be afraid of being that annoying person. So, Hala, you told me you was going to come to a meeting, right? So I'm going to follow up with you. Maybe I wouldn't do it an hour before, maybe 2 hours before, just to give them time to make it. If they still don't show up, that's cool. It happens. Don't worry about it. It happens. People don't show up. To this day, people don't show up for some of my events. You keep it cool, but you follow up with them after the event. Yo, what's going on? We missed you at the event. What happened? Now, if something happened, a family emergency, I stayed at work, you can't get mad. You can't knock it. Because think if that was you in their shoes. Maybe it's an excuse that they're giving you, but if they're giving you that excuse, it's because they care. So now question is, if something came up, an emergency, whatever it is, are you still interested in coming to a next one? We're setting clear expectations. If you tell me no, I'm never going to talk to you about it again. Keep watching me. But if you tell me yes, okay, cool. I'm going to let you know about the next one. What's your schedule like next week? Now you're getting them to clear their schedule, right? When's your day off? Or you're off on Tuesday? Let me see if there's an event on Tuesday. So now I can try to get you to the next one. And quite frankly, if you know, it happens 2-3 times where somebody says, yeah, they're going to show up and then they're not going to show up, that person isn't reliable. And that person, you know, at the end of the day, might not be the best person to start a business with. You don't want to beg anybody to come to an event because then you're going to have to beg them to do the work, right? You want the people who are most on point, you know, and if at the end of the day, you have to pay a couple months, let's say, to get your education, and that's cool. Because at one point, you're going to get a whole bunch of people hitting you up because they're seeing you're consistent because you spoke to them. You're going to build a pipeline of different people you can reach out to. So now let's say 4 months down the line, the person didn't come to an event 3 months ago, 4 months ago, because they have whatever going on. I can call them like, yo, you showed some interest 3-4 months ago. I know you had a lot of going on, so you couldn't come to a training, but what are you doing Tuesday night? And then you can invite them, you know, to something more down the line. So we can host events in several different places, right? You can host events in what's called a breather room. A breather room is something that you pay per hour. They're really nice spaces. They're in like downtown, and we have them in Boston. Check your city. They're in several other cities, but not everywhere in the world. So you can rent the office spaces. Community centers. You can host an event at a community center. You can look into getting a WeWorks. You can go into different coffee shops, different colleges. Most colleges are open and are available to the public. So if you found a lounge or secluded area, you can host a presentation. Some of us live in luxury apartments. Luxury apartments have business centers. Luxury apartments have, you know, secluded areas where you can have, you know, gatherings with different people. If you go to the library, you can get a free room. Usually they're first come, first serve, but that's an option. If you don't have a home, right? If you can't do a home event, there's several different options. Coffee shop, colleges, luxury apartments, library. Those are free. Those are places you don't have to pay for. Breather rooms, you're going to have to make an investment. Usually 70, 80 bucks an hour. You get 2 hours. You get a couple people to throw down. Let me know if you need a referral link. It saves you like $40 on your first room. Community center, you can just go to a community center, talk to the head person, tell them what we're doing, what the vision is. We're giving back. We're spreading financial literacy. Anybody at a community center would love to have an event like the one we're having because we're spreading knowledge to the community. WeWorks has rooms. They're usually small. They don't fit, you know, more than 30 people, but you can get them at an hourly rate, just like the breather room. So if you're trying to host an event, you can even go on Google and Google, where can I book a room? Where can I make an event? And find something that's of low cost or even free. You can promote, you can get flyers. I have a flyer guy. He only speaks Spanish, but you guys are more than welcome to you know, get a flyer done from him. He'll make it to your colors, to your likings. You can promote the flyers on social media. I love sending my flyers to like all my Snapchat followers. Everybody who follows me on Snapchat, whenever I have a big event where like a chairman or somebody coming, they're getting that flyer, right? You can sell raffle tickets at your event. So like a cool thing we did a couple months ago, we raffled off a laptop. Who was there? Jami was there. Seen Jami was on the call earlier. Jami's still there. I see you. Woo. Jami's first event. We gave away a laptop. So we've done food. We've given away tickets to like Celtics games. We've done Red Sox tickets. We've done several different things. It should have been yours. I wanted it to be yours, but hey, It was a fair raffle. You guys want to try to have events twice a week, 2 to 3 times a week, have small events, have a big event once a week. Tap into new members' networks, tap into your friends' networks. It's not all about the people you know. Remember 6 degrees of separation. We're 6 degrees or 6 people away from anybody in the world, right? At these events, you want to dress to impress. Always respect people's time. And remember, you never know who's in the room, right? It can be one person in that room, but that one person might know 500 people who are interested. So you're going to do the event, even if there's one person with the same energy as if there were 100 people in the room, because you never know who's in that room. So that's pretty much all I had on like hosting an event. A couple days ago, we went over the PBR, hosting the private session or the home event. We went over presenting your story. So we've given more information on this topic over the last couple of days, but these are just some notes that I wanted to give you on places where you can host an event for no cost or little cost, whether you're in Boston or outside of Boston. Last topic I had for today was increasing retention, people in your business. I know some of us, I don't know if anybody on this call recently hit a rank, but had some retracement in their business and is now looking to either get people back on the vision or see where their team is. So this section is to keep your team, basically keep the people who you're introducing in this business motivated and into this business. Always remember, prospects are not destinations, right? Whenever you get somebody started in this business, that's not the final time you're going to talk to them. It's not like, okay, cool, I got him to start. Now, let me block his number. Whenever you get somebody started in this business, they're a doorway, right? And they're a doorway to other, potential business. Now, you got to make sure that that person knows exactly what it is that they're doing. You got to give them direction. You got to essentially give them life. You got to give them assignments. You got to, make sure that they know what they're going, that they know what they're doing. You got to give them guidance. If you don't give somebody guidance, then they're just going to fall off, right? It's not about following up with the person one time a month at the end of the month when their bill is due. You want to build a relationship at the end of the day. This is a business partner. And what we're building is larger than foreign exchange, right? These are people who you can build different businesses with, or people who are going to open different doors in different fields. But in order to achieve that level of respect, right, you got to build that relationship. You can't just forget about somebody as you get them started. You want to get them on a fast start program, showing them the products, showing them the back office. You always want to give them new business partners guidance on where to go, right? Always make yourself available. Remember to remind them of trading sessions throughout the day, throughout the weeks, right? Like, let's say Christopher Derrick is on London tonight. Yo, Ness VQuest is on Binary tonight. Make sure you on. Yo, did you get on Able session this morning? So at the end of the day, let's say in 30 days, if they choose not to renew their monthly subscription, it's not because of you. It's not because of this platform. It's because whatever they have going on, right? And most people, rather than not, simply because you've extended your help, they're going to try to make the sacrifice to make this work, right? Regardless, I don't want to say regardless, but, despite having things going on in their lives. So when you're building this business, you got to build it 3 times. You got to build it once on your mind. You got to build it once on paper. And then you got to build it once like in real life, right? So that's building it 3 times. Building it in your mind, building it on paper, and actually building it in real life. So building it in your mind, right? You always got to set up a game plan as to how you want to approach things. You set ideas on paper so that they stick, so that you learn them, so that you kind of engrave it. And then by actually building and having a plan, you're going to bring it into fruition. So that's how you increase retention, is by always becoming available. I always tell you guys, I'm a brother to you guys. I'm like a sibling. I'm always here for you. You guys know at any time you can ask me any questions. You guys can call me. We're doing this trainings every single day at 11 p.m. to bring back more value to you guys, to tell you guys the ins and outs of trading and the ins and outs of building a business. Remember, this is not what you're paying for as part of IM. This is just extra mentorship on the side. Make sure you guys are tuning in to go live sessions. Make sure you're tuning into the IM Academy if you haven't finished it. Make sure you're using the products like the harmonic scanner and gold cup, high frequency FX. Remember, everything worth having takes a while. Learning this skill is going to take a while. It's not something you're going to learn in a week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. Building a 7-figure business is something that is not by all means easy. There are struggles, there are ups and downs, just like with any other business in the world. But if you stay consistent, again, if you make up in numbers what you lack in skills, you're putting yourself on the right side of the game, and it's just a matter of time before you start getting the results that you desire. Tomorrow we're having a training again at 11 p.m. We're going over desires and belief, the 7 fundamental skills of network marketing, the follow-up process. Remember, the key is in the follow-up. We're going to talk about NFP. It's NFP this Friday, so it's a big news day. I'm going to go over a stop order strategy that you guys can use on NFP or on any other news day. And then we're going to give you a pre-NFP analysis, what it is that we're thinking so far going into the big news day on Friday morning. Once again, my name is Gio. You guys can follow me on Instagram at East Coast G. Send me a message anytime. It's been my pleasure hosting tonight's team training. I hope you guys got some value. If you guys got some value out of today's call, drop some 3s in the chat right now. Drop some 3s in the chat for me if you guys got some value out of today's call. Chairman J. Phillips, Ben, Kiara, Jami, Jomar, I appreciate you guys. Priscilla, I appreciate you. If you guys want to see another training tomorrow, if you guys want to see more people on, make sure you go on the Trailblazer chat, drop some fire, tell your teammates that this training was official, that you guys learned a lot, that you guys got some value, that they slacked on going on. You guys have a blessed night, sweet dreams, and I hope them trades hit. Let's all wake up and profit. You heard?